Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jetson Fleet, where you get whatever you want. I'm Jerry the Tree Whiz. We're going over the balance changes today. Where did these balance changes come from? We had no idea where they were coming from. This update just kind of snuck up on everybody, huh? And let's talk about a few things real quick with the update. Take it easy, y'all. Sometimes when an update comes out, something might be a little different that you didn't notice. I saw a lot of people going, terrible, worst update ever. Can't click towers, can't click towers. It's all good, we'll figure it out. I always had a problem with accidentally clicking on the towers. So now you just have to be a little bit more precise where you click. I think it's an improvement. Yell at me, guys, but yeah, let's take it easy on the updates because I say it's a labor of love from the development team, and they try to listen. So I'm happy. I'm excited about these balance changes. I've always wanted to use Confetti the Yeti and had a problem with them. I'm going to go over these changes in just a second. I just wanted you to see how strong Confetti the Yeti is now. Oh my Lord. Actually, we'll get into these replays in just a second. What's nice too is I can pause this replay. We'll be right back to that. Let's take a look at what the balance changes are. By the way, thank you, developers, for adding all these new features. I love them. Here's the balance changes. First one is my favorite. It's massive. Look at this. Confetti the Yeti ice block health increased to 4,000, up from 1,200. Whoa. Confetti the Yeti timer for the ice to melt increased to 40, up from 25. Whoa. That is a huge, huge buff to his shield ability when he becomes the ice, and that's what you're going to see is devastating in this replay I have, and like 3 or 4 more replays. But what I think is so cool too is it almost seems like, I don't know if I've just never noticed it, but man, it seems like they changed something with like the pathing, because he blocks so well now. I was able to save all my Greevils, and he does very well with taking out the Killbot, I've noticed. The Igloo range has been increased up to 16. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice. The Napalm now deals 200 initial damage and then 100 damage every second for 12 seconds. Used to deal 50 damage every 0.5 seconds for 12 seconds. I like that change. The Napalm radius is reduced to 8, down from 12. I like that. I think it's going to be more usable. The B-Mine center damage increased to 4,000, up from 3,000, and the damage decreases with distance. I like that. I think that's a cool change. I just played with it a few times, and I like the way it feels. Snowflake freeze range reduced down to 14 from 22. Yeah, that was crazy, right? You saw how massive it was, but they reduced the cost to 1. Like that. I think we're going to see Snowflake a lot now as a cycle card. There's a lot more things that freeze in this game. We need some more things that anti-freeze in this game. The bees' attack speed is slightly improved. That's good. Bees have always been a little weak, so hopefully the beehive doesn't get too strong, because I don't want to see too mee beehives. Now it's every 0.63 seconds to 1 attack every 0.6 seconds. We'll see how that feels. But here's what the interesting change is. The B Squad bees grow angry when one of them is killed, increasing their damage by 30%. That makes them a unique card now. That's a very cool change, actually, the more that I think about that. The B Squad is now not just a group of bees. It's an individual card on its own, not just like a minion horde, or there's minions and then minion horde. They feel unique. I like that. Good change, dev team. Doe Overlords. All right. The missile turret cost reduced to 3, down from 5, and the attack and detection range is reduced to 16, and the damage is increased to 1,200. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. That's awesome. So there is your answer to the bees right there. There is your answer to the Zeppelin. I really like this change. 5 never felt right. It really didn't feel right. This feels right. I like the range decrease. All around like it. Some changes to Dechappa. We got Dechappa speed increased to 14, up from 12. The attack and disable range is reduced to 16, down from 22. Major fire damage reduced up to 2.5, down from 3. And the major fire damage increased up to 400. So I like the Dechappa changes. I haven't played with it yet, so I'm going to feel it out. I'll let you know what I feel more, because I really don't know how much that's going to change it, but I'm excited to try, and I like what they're doing to Major Fire. I think it's good that his range is being reduced while his damage is being increased. Like those changes a lot. Cheerleaders. Here we go. This is probably an important thing to go over, because it was breaking the game, which we'll talk about tomorrow. The cheerleading squad effect range has been reduced by 4. The cheerleading squad cost has been increased to 4. That's a big change. And the cheerleading squad range gain per second decreased to 0.5, down from 1. That's another big change. So that is definitely a hard nerf to the cheerleaders, but I think they're still going to be viable. I think that was a good move. The barbarics will now spend 2 seconds looking for a victim before charging. I thought it was a glitch when I first jumped into the update last night and started playing. I'm like, barbarics is even glitchier. No, good to know. She's just figuring out where she's going to go, and it gives you a second to figure out what to do with her. I think that's a massive kind of nerf. So I think now we'll actually be able to, I like that change. So now we might be able to buff her back, or I don't know. I still think her splash damage is crazy, but that's how it is. That's how it is. And it's cool. We'll get used to it. I'm still getting used to the card. It's starting to get better and better. The magic missile, the cheese missiles, my missiles, guys. The damage per missile reduced to 500, down from 600. That's a pretty sizable nerf when you factor in the fact that you're shooting 10 missiles. That's 100. That's 1,000 less damage. Wild. So we've also got, this is probably the biggest takeaway from the whole thing. Listen to this one, y'all. Teleporter will now only have 1 charge, down from 4. 1 charge. Teleportal, let me say that again. Teleportal now only has 1 charge, down from 4. But the range, it's going to teleport them back 40 instead of 27. So you're going to go a lot further back, but you only get 1 teleport back. I think when you think back to how many teleports Teleport had, you can see why it was the most overpowered or frustrating card in the game. I don't want to say overpowered. I'm not throwing out these big always and nevers. We're just talking right now. No Riot Pete health is reduced to 1,200, down from 1,500, and his cost is reduced to 4. I think that's a good change. He feels strong, and I think this will make him feel a little stronger and balanced. I think this is a good change. He's strong in certain decks, but he's also pretty weak because of his dough cost. So I think this was a good change. Hurtbot gets a health increase and he gets a range increase. His health is going up to 1,400 and his range is increased to 24 from 20. Here's a cool change. Sheriff Justice damage increased to 1,200, up from 900. Maybe we'll see him used a little bit now. I don't think he's that weak, but what do I know? I had a couple victories with him. There's other cards that are better than him. Maybe this will make him good enough to be in the meta. Airstrike now takes 2 seconds after being deployed. Changes some interactions. I always had enough time to get the barrier down. So really it doesn't change any interactions actually. It just gives you 2 seconds longer to get your barriers down. I was always quick. Got my barriers up good. Mr. Boom, total grenades increased to 8. All right, more buffs to Mr. Boom. I'm liking that. Dr. Death speed increased to 14. Is that going to be enough to get you to use Dr. Death? I don't know. We will see. And the spell grounding rod range reduced to 14, down from 18. That's a pretty sizable nerf. Here's another tip. I don't know if you guys noticed. When you use Nightfall, you can use spells a lot closer to the spell grounding rod because he has no more range anymore. If you use something on top of him directly, he will still block the spell. But if you use Nightfall, you can use an airstrike just to the left of him or just to the right of him, just not on top of him. His range gets reduced just like all the other troops. I think that's pretty interesting. All right. Oh, and we're here. I love this. You can see the cards in the replay. Thank you, dev team. This is a huge love in my heart for you guys for that. All right. So look at these Yetis. This is what I want to show you. He's not even getting my Greevils. Look at how awesome that is. Epic. I'm protecting my Greevils with Yetis. And then I'm about to make my Greevil Nexus, and you guys know where this is going to go. So I think we're about to see the rise of the Yeti. I think he's going to be useful, especially because he takes out a Killbot. Look at this. Oh, perfect timing. Hey. And also, he takes out the next larger phase Killbot quite easily thanks to his freeze mechanic. And he is awesome because he's immune to freeze. One of the strongest mechanics in the game is freezing, chilling, all of that. I'm loving him right now. I didn't even want to tell you guys about him because now you guys are going to use him against me. Troop Trap, though, if you guys have Troop Trap, that seems to be a big problem for me. But yeah, he has been guarding my Greevils. Thank you, Yeti. You guys, there's a lot of other changes in this balance change. Not balance change, besides the balance changes in the update. You'll notice it's harder to click the towers. I talked about that at the beginning. But also, the ending screen and the loading screen is different. We got new, I feel like there's new sounds when you drop the troops that are played. Overall, I love it. I'm really enjoying it. I love the balance changes. Hats off to you guys. Great balance changes. I'm excited to play through them a little bit. I think I may go live later if you guys want to hop in and join the live stream and we can test the balance changes out together. Yeah, look at these Yetis just destroying. This was cool. All right, you guys, I love you. Thanks for being here for real, from the bottom of my heart to the top of my head and everything in between. Peace.
To the Batmobile.